Thank you for joining me once again. Let's talk about the current situation in Sudan. Sudan had become a forgotten country, no doubt about that. I'm getting messages from my subscribers, from my followers, and from all over my social media platform with people telling me, begging me to do a video about Sudan because of the current situation that is happening right now. Thousands are missing. New horrors had emerged after the RSF took charge of the Sudanese city of el-Fasher. Sudanese people have been hunted down, being humiliated, and being deleted in mass numbers by the RSF after they took charge of the city. And this is according to the survivors and also according to the words of the agency's workers in Sudan. There have been reports of mass deleting of civilians, crimes against humanity, and a lot more things I cannot mention on this video because of YouTube or TikTok algorithm. Since the RSF stormed the city after 18 months of severe battle with the Sudanese army, they managed to conquer the Sudanese army and they've taken charge of the el-Fasher city. And that is the reason why all of this had risen up. A lot of crime against humanity apparently is currently being committed as we speak right now. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not there. You are not there. We can only go by the words of the survivors and the word of the, aid agencies on the ground. That is what they claimed. More than 60,000 people had fled Sudan city of el-Fasher, which was captured by the RSF, as I said, over the weekend, according to the United Nations Refugee Agency. Again, these are the words of the Refugee Agency, word of the survivors, and words of the press against the words of the RSF. We are not there, so we can only go by these things we are told. We also heard over 450 people were deleted in an hospital at the el-Fasher city that is currently under the control of the so-called RSF. Several attacks on churches are reported. Several sudden unaliving of innocent citizens are reported, and a lot of other crimes against humanity. Some of these crimes that are committed are despicable. I can't even mention them on here because for obvious reason, I can't use those words. But my question is, why is everybody hyping this now? Why is everybody all of a sudden talking about this? It's been years in the making. If people really wanted to see change, they should have been hyping this before now. For me, personally, I think they are trying to push a new narrative. I suspect they are trying to bring something new. They are trying to change the whole picture. That is the reason why they are now telling us the real truth of what is going. If I have to be brutally honest, Sudan is completely forgotten. Let's forget about all these stories. Sudan is a forgotten country. But something is changed. Something is coming. For all of this to start all of a sudden, something is about to come. Maybe good, maybe bad, maybe worse. Let's wait and see. The RSF had taking strong hold of the country, especially the el-Fasher city. There are rumors of weapons and money. Or let me put it this way, there are rumors that the UAE are the ones sponsoring the RSF and providing weapons for them. Something the UAE had openly denied that they know nothing about. Obviously, they're not going to say they're doing it. We've seen the same thing in Congo with Rwanda, but they won't say they're openly doing it. But one thing I know for sure is there is no smoke without fire. I couldn't confirm if that is true or if it is not true, but that is the allegations against the UAE, that the UAE are the one providing and sponsoring the so-called RSF fighters. On Thursday, just gone, I think that was on the Thursday, was the 29th or the 30th of October, the RSF had claimed they've arrested many of the fighters that are responsible or that were accused of carrying out these abuses on Sudanese citizens. But the United Nations Humanitarian Affairs Chief, called Tom Fletcher, questioned the RSF commitment to investigate this matter thoroughly because of the violation and the crime that have been committed against humanity, which means there are elements of truth that the RSF had actually committed some of these despicable crimes against humanity in Sudan. But ladies and gentlemen, this update I've just given you is not actually scripted. I've just made everything up from rough information I gathered from a few people I spoke to on the ground in Sudan. And like I said, this is the words of the aid agencies, the survivors, and the word against the RSF. There are three factions to this, but from what I've heard the RSF commander put out, it sounds like something like that is actually happening in Sudan, because we've seen all over the news, we've seen all over social media. For me personally, I don't really believe most things I see on social media until it is confirmed, because that is the most powerful tool they use to change the narrative of anything if they want to. But on this one, there are elements of fact and truth that the RSF is committing these crimes against humanity in Sudan. I could be wrong in a lot of things I've said in this brief update, but I think I'm right. But if you think I forgot something, or I have missed something, or you know something new, perhaps let's discuss it together in the comment section.